It's widely assumed that Hindu sacred texts are mythological works. But what if this assumption is wrong and the stories described actually took place? There is an ancient Indian legend that says that over 1 million years ago, the god Rama built a bridge to connect the island of Sri Lanka with India. This prompted some people to search for this great architectural work, and it sure looks like they found it. On satellite images, in some sections, you can see a narrow formation of a completely sunken passage that looks like it connected the island of Sri Lanka to the rest of Asia. Officially, it is described as a random chain of reefs and sandbanks connecting the islands of Rameswaram and Sri Lanka, but some believe that its origin is not natural, but constructed and very ancient. In the 9th century Book of Ways and Lands, written by the Arab geographer Ibn Khordadbeh, this connection is also known as Set Bandai or Sea Bridge. In the Encyclopaedia Britannica, this formation was referred to as Adam's Bridge after Adam's Peak, Sri Lanka's most famous mountain where, according to Islamic authors, Adam is said to have lived before being expelled from paradise. The earliest mention of this possible origin is the ancient Indian heroic epic Ramayana, which means the Walk of Rama. In this heroic epic, the bridge is called Setu Bandhanam. This had been built by an army of monkey men, also called Vanaras, to cross from India to Sri Lanka in order to save the Queen Sita, wife of the god King Rama, who had been kidnapped by the 10-headed demon god Ravana. This book describes exactly how the construction project was realized. The monkey men wrote the name Rama on every single stone before throwing it into the sea. According to the story, these stones had a special property: they could magically float on the water. After 5 days of long labor, Rama's bridge was completed and the Vanaras were able to cross the strait and conquer Sri Lanka. Coincidentally, the sea that separates India from Sri Lanka is called Setu Samudram, which means sea bridge. Legend has it that after they returned to the continent, the bridge stopped floating and fell into the ocean. It is amazing that the name of its builder was recorded, also the exact method of construction and the time it took to build it. Too many data are revealed in this epic to be a legend. For example, it took 5 days to finish the construction of the many kilometers long bridge of 100 yojanas. 1 yojana equals about 12 to 15 kilometers, and everything is explained in detail. It is also told that Rama lived more than 1 million years ago at the end of the Treta Yuga era. Thus, the bridge would belong to one of the oldest structures in the world, something almost incredible. Officially, it is said that this bridge is a natural geological formation, which is said to have been formed by a shift of sandbanks from the mainland due to an earth tremor about 5,000 years ago. The Bharat Guan group, which is dedicated to the academic study of traditional Hindu culture, states that with a length to width ratio of 10:1, the bridge could not have been formed naturally. Considering that the bridge is 35 kilometers long and 3.5 kilometers wide, and although nowadays the formation is not uniform and its width varies along its entire length, it can be said that the proportions cannot be correct when assuming natural formation. Dr. Badri Narayanan, director of the Geological Survey of India and former coordinator of the research department of NIOT, the National Institute of Ocean Technology in Chennai, explored parts of the sunken lake ridge and came to very surprising results. He says that the samples taken, found at the depths of 10 meters, contained normal marine sand in the upper part and a mixture of coral, calcareous sandstone and rock in the lower part. Inexplicably, after 5.4 meters, they encountered a hard rock formation resting on loose sand. Dr. Narayanan found it very strange that numerous stone blocks were lying on this unstable sand. All these studies led him to conclude that these stones had been placed there for a specific purpose only. Also, the Indian party Bharatiya Janata published information on photographs of Nasa, in which the sea bridge was dated to an age of about 1.7 million years, which is quite close to the era of the god Rama. Interestingly, very old documents are kept in the temple of Rameswaram, which describe that until the 15th century people had been able to cross the bridge on foot. But the passable passage sank below at sea level due to a cyclone that swept away the sandbanks above the coral reefs. Since that time, all inhabitants of Sri Lanka and India had to cross the strait by boat. However, every time they crossed, they could see the sunken bridge in the shallow water and attributed it to the legend of the Bridge of Rama. Could this bridge actually be the oldest one in the world?